It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
Purple Daily, Monday edition, but it's a special one. It's Zolgad and Declan Goff, which means it's comments from YouTube, Declan Goff, regarding our Vikings and what they are or are not doing as we get set to go into the second week of the NFL's free agency period. Without further ado, Declan, I'm going to turn the reins to you as we try to tackle the questions from the fans of this show, which, of course, as always, is brought to you by our friends from Surly Brewing and also TCL TV. Enjoy more. Enjoy sports. Enjoy anything you like to watch. Enjoy it more with a TCL TV.
Oh, we have a fun little giveaway from TCL that we'll be able to tell you more about in the coming days that was finalized behind the scenes. Sources tell me that a certain giveaway will be transpiring between Score North and TCL, world's fastest growing TV brand. Yes, it is our comments edition here on YouTube. A lot of, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out the right words to use. Mostly questions about Cam and KOC, and now that they've been here for about, Cam got hired in January, Kevin O'Connell in February, the first week of free agency has transpired. So a lot of more questions and comments on their leadership here in the first couple months on the job. Sure. But I do want to start with this one because, Judd, I had my Vent Line episode, and by the way, if you want to get on a Vent Line episode, shoot me an email. Vikings Vent Line. Here, look at this. Vikings Vent Line at gmail.com, scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now for our YouTube audience. Shoot me an invite if you want to get on. I asked our last panelists of guests on Friday, Judd, to give me a grade for the first week of the offseason. And I had a mixed result.
Okay.
One member gave me a D+, one gave me a B-,
wow,
and one gave me a C.
Wow, okay.
Now, I can honestly be talked into any of those grades. I think maybe a D is a little harsh, but a B- might be a little high. But I can be, again, maybe persuaded into that. I got a lot of B- is where my ceilings as grades, so I understand what a B- work is.
That's a good grade, actually.
Thank you. But Marvin here in our YouTube comment section says, I give them a C+. I like the Harrison Phillips signing. I like Jordan Hicks. 2 starters if they pick up a starting center and a corner, and they'll be all right. So right now, C+ for the signing of Phillips and Hicks. I would love to know your thoughts. What grade would you give the Vikings front office here on their first week on the job with NFL free agency now underway?
Well, if I can't make it an incomplete and I have to give them a grade, I'd give them right now C-, because they didn't turn in a paper that has that adheres to the assignment that I asked for, which was a cohesive strategy. They don't have a thesis statement. They have too many different contradictory things going on in said paper. So there's a lot of red ink here. There's a lot of red ink. I'm giving them a C- because I don't know that they know what they're doing. For instance, if Cousins stays and they had said, we're going to have to get rid of other guys because of that. So we're not going to bring back Kendricks, or we're not going to bring back Thielen, or we're not going to bring back Cook. I don't know if they had come up with we've got to free up cap space because the future remains incredibly important. I'd say I don't love that, but at least I know what you're doing. If they had said Cousins goes, but we're going to bring guys back, I'd say, okay, I still get what you're doing. I might not love it, but I get it. But the reality is, I don't think they have a clue. And so the paper itself has some nice sections, well-written sections. Sure. I like it.
Yeah.
The problem is the structure is not what the assignment was. The assignment called for structure.
I'm having flashbacks right now.
Structure, Declan Goff. And this is not in fact, I'd like to talk to your parents, not yours.
Yeah, they're not.
Unfortunately, they're dead. But I would like to talk to the parents of the Vikings because I don't feel that they completed the assignment. And right now, here's the problem. The direction's bad. There's time to fix the paper, but the direction's bad. So I think at this point in time, even if they make moves now that you say, okay, I'm going to take this C- to a C dex.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's salvageable from a thought process completely. So at very best, it's average. But as we all know, when you're talking about the show, Purple Daily, Mackey, Judd, Declan, we don't want average. We want a Super Bowl title, right?
Yes, sir.
So I think it's very fair to say various people have caused this, and this probably goes above Kwesi as well. Various people have caused this assignment to have been misconstrued for what it's supposed to be.
Wow.
I'm sorry to give you flashbacks. I didn't mean to, but I mean, that's the best explanation that I can give, which is the paper is not a total mess, but the structure is completely lacking at this point. And I don't know if it's salvageable trying to do this many different things.
So C minus.
C minus.
C minus is the work.
Pick an angle.
Yeah.
That's the Zolgad theory on life. Pick an angle.
Judd could be a teacher.
You didn't pick an angle.
Judd could be a consultant. Judd would love to be a consultant.
I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to deal with kids.
No, I don't blame you.
No
next comment here from Tahoe Media Group on YouTube.
Whoa, job offer?
Maybe. He says, it's an audition year. It could be a surprise season. It could be a dumpster fire. But hopefully the offense is lights out and the defense is at least average. At this point, it's anyone's guess. It would be fun to see these guys play with passion and have some fun doing it. I'm not about silver linings, and because we do that way too much in Minnesota sports.
Yes.
But I will say this, to Tahoe Media Group's point. I do hope that the offense, at the very least, is lights out. The fact it's been, Judd, 11th and 12th, I believe, in scoring now. Outside the top 10 the last 2 years.
Great skill
is unacceptable.
Skill position players are really good.
It's unacceptable to be outside of a top 10 offense. Yeah, if the defense can be average, great. That was my goal last year. I don't even know if it can be average this year unless you just hit some absolute home runs and Ed Donatel coaches out of his bleeping mind.
No.
And then the latter part he makes, it would be fun to see these guys play with passion and have some fun doing it. Clearly, that's what the Wilfs are banking on, changing that culture, right? All that fun, goofy stuff. But to his point, and without poo-pooing his comment, I do agree, at the very least, can this offense at least be lights out and finally hit its ceiling of where it's supposed to be, which in my opinion should be a top 5-10 offense.
So I agree completely with that, but ask yourself one very important question. Can that happen with the unknown potentially at right guard right now? Wyatt Davis is he might be good. I have no idea. Nobody knows. And more importantly, if they don't upgrade on Garrett Bradbury at center, Declan. So that's my question is, if you had said, we're going to go sign Treader. He's out there right now. We got to get him. And we've got to get a bit creative with the cap, but we're going to get him. I'd be like, oh, okay. Center, very much improved. That's my problem. It's like they are halfway in the pool and they're like, this should be good enough. We're going to swim. It's like, no, you got to go in deep end to swim.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
so I'm with you completely, and I'm with Phil on the stuff Phil says. I just don't see the path to how they're going to 100% get there when they've deluded themselves into thinking, if indeed they have, and O'Connell's comments at the Combine indicate there's a possibility that Garrett Bradbury can play. But yes, the skill position guys, I don't think the quarterback's great. I think he's good. But the skill position guys, Jefferson, Irv Smith, who hopefully comes back and can stay on the field this time. Thielen, same thing. A healthy Thielen is good, but that seems to be happening with less frequency, and he is not getting younger. So I've got questions there, but this offense better be damn good, or this could be a disaster.
I agree.
That's fair.
Michael says, hey, y'all, I like this program and we'll stay connected. But with that being said, my personal observation is you guys are acting like a person who had been in a really bad relationship and starting to go into a new relationship, but you have been so hurt that you are being really cautious and have trust issues. You're making it rough on your new partner. Hang in there and give them trust and belief that the changes are going to show themselves. I don't know if he was actually talking about my dating life over the last year or if he's talking about how we talk about the purple.
Yep.
But regardless, I know what Michael's trying to say here, that this team
I like it.
Has been hurt before.
I like what he's trying to say.
And maybe give the new benefit of the doubt to Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell.
If I thought for 1 second that they were doing this, I would. This is so I love the comparison here, but here's where it goes to. This is like if you'd been hurt in a relationship, got out of it, and your parents started to weigh in on your new one. It's not us. It's the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, Does anybody really think for 1 second that the new GM and coach are on board with keeping everybody? Like, I could see if as Phil explained, hey, there's a chance that O'Connell said Kirk can play. I'd be like, okay, I might not totally agree with that, but let's just go down that path. But you're telling me they want to bring everybody back? No way. So this is, to me, like relationship one done, hurt, you got hurt badly, and now your parents move into your house and say, we're going to help you.
Right.
Because that's what the Wilfs are doing to me, or somebody. If it's not the Wilfs, somebody above Kwesi is basically trying to weigh in. So that's my problem here. I think what we are doing is we are preemptively striking. It's a preemptive strike to try and stop the nonsense, to try and stop the madness.
Yeah.
That's our point. The madness. Stop the madness and allow these guys to do what they were hired to do. And my God, if you're a business guy, you go do your job.
Yes.
Go sell tickets. Your job to sell tickets. It's my job to take this team and mold it. And Kevin O'Connell deserves to have exactly what he wants. And there's no way that he said, I want to run this entire thing back. That's not football. And for anybody who thinks it's a good idea to run things back, Declan Goff, 2010, the Vikings tried that, and I applauded it. And guess what Judd Zolgad learned? A life lesson. Don't be stupid.
You know, sometimes there can be too many chefs in the kitchen when it comes to moving on to situations in your life. And you can seek advice from those who you want to seek advice from, whether that's your friends, family, whoever that is. But at the end of the day, if you're not really seeking professional help and you're just getting opinions from everyone you like that has a bias towards you,
so true.
You're not going to get to that happiness you really want.
Correct. And you're going to get bad advice.
You're going to get bad advice from your friends.
We have both had friends previously who would ask us for advice, and then we would find out that they asked 8 other people.
Right.
And my stance to that has been, then don't ask me. Because what I say is just going, unless you think I know. But you're looking for the answer that you want to hear. And the biggest problem that I think we are potentially butting up against with the Vikings right now, Dex, is this. The word collaboration is seen as good, right? Like there wasn't enough collaboration, now there's more. But collaboration also means seeking advice until somebody tells you what you want to hear. Like real collaboration's great. But just going around from friend to friend to friend to friend, should I date this person? No. Okay, thanks a lot. Should I date this person? No. Okay, thanks a lot. Third time. Oh, you know what? I think you should. Okay, thank you. Because that's what I want to hear. So don't confuse true collaboration with nonsense of surveying a room until you get what you want.
Van Be Good says on the YouTube channel, I don't think anybody in this organization knows what they're doing. This, quote, plan is highly flawed, but I also think there are too many voices putting it in different directions, to echoing our point right here. It just, at the end of the day, you're going to have to make up your own damn mind on what you want. Again, seek the advice you have to seek, but don't be asking, especially people that know you and trust you so much for those advice, because they're only going to tell you the good things. It's very rare you get a friend that will call you out on your BS. And for Kwesi and KOC to basically, I don't think they're necessarily going to the ownership and saying, hey,
right,
you think it's okay if we do that?
Right.
It's the opposite. It's the owners going to Kevin and Kwesi and saying, we would really like if things were done this way. And I'm sure that was communicated in the interview process, and now that plan is fully being executed.
It's Lumberg. I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday, too.
Yeah, Lumberg.
He's walking around with his coffee mug at TCO. Yeah. It'd be great if you would bring... Yeah, why don't you bring Kirk back for another year, and Kendricks and everybody else? Exactly.
I have a Daniil Hunter question here, Judd. Before I bring up Daniil Hunter, though, what kind of beverage are you usually sipping on when you're thinking about all these relationship advice and the football questions? What's the one thing you like to turn to?
Oh, I like to turn to any product from our friends at Surly Brewing. Absolutely, as you know, Declan, and can attest to from your weekend foray. Yeah. Surly Brewing is great. In fact, what, Drips and Drops, you said?
Drips and Drops, the hazy IPA.
All right, well, let me tell you about a free agent acquisition at the liquor store that you cannot lose on, and that's the first Surly Variety Pack of 2022. It includes, of course, the staple, Furious, Havoc Machine, Ghost Empire Dark lager is delicious as well. And then, as I keep saying, the Justin Jefferson of this group, the Hyper Modern Idaho 7 IPA, absolutely delicious. So when I am contemplating life, when I'm contemplating what the Vikings are, or in this case, aren't doing, I'm doing it with a surly, ordinarily a furious, but like most great executives, I've decided to go outside my comfort zone and explore the first Surly Variety Pack of 2022. And you know what? If you choose to do the same, Dex, what can people do?
Show us your cans. Show us your taps.
I like the taps thing as well. At JZulgad, JZULGAD on Twitter, or at Score North. We will certainly respond with a pithy comment because we always love to share in our love of Surly.
Jason says, maybe they are converting the money on Hunter, and this forces him to show up for training camp, and if he holds out, he loses that bonus. Just my opinion. Now, that bonus is paid to him, right? So, like, there isn't really him showing up, not showing up problem.
Yeah, well, he has to. So supposedly, and I don't know this for certain. So if he skips OTAs, he will lose a minimal like $500,000 workout bonus. Okay.
Okay.
Minicamp, 3-day, mandatory in June, he can be fined substantially. Like, you'll lose lots. It sounds like the contract, from what we've seen reported, is he would forfeit the start of the bonus if he doesn't show up for the first day of training camp. But if they were to give him the bonus in a lump sum right now, he couldn't not show. Like they would then look to get that back. So, like, I don't think that he wants a new contract.
Yep.
And his agent got bamboozled last June into basically the Vikings saying, no new contract now, but one, we'll give you a lump sum, and two, in March, which is where we sit now, we will give you more and you'll be paid. And I think they said, okay, that's a perfect time then to start negotiations on a new contract, not realizing that the Vikings were privately saying, yeah, no, thank you.
Well, there might be a backup plan for Danielle Hunter because we're recording this on a Monday afternoon, and our friend Tom Pelissero reports that former Packers linebacker Za'Darius Smith is headed to Minnesota today for a visit with the Vikings.
Interesting. And so this is why we don't necessarily think the Hunter thing is done. I think something else is at work here there. Mm-hmm. Like, it's too cut and dry of, okay, we'll pay you. The Vikings aren't dumb. And if I'm not mistaken, in going back on the Za'Darius Smith story, he was in agreement with the Baltimore Ravens last week, right, Dex?
Yes.
And then that fell apart.
Correct.
And we don't know why. And then Dallas got involved. And so now, as you just said, Tom Pelissero reporting that he's going to visit the Vikings. That's intriguing.
Yep.
That's intriguing. Now, he missed most of last year with a back problem, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't know where things stand there. But, yeah, that certainly adds an interesting curveball. And they could have them both. But I just have a weird feeling that the Hunter thing is not resolved yet.
Yeah, I think Za'Darius Smith would be a fine backup plan, too, if they moved on.
Interesting.
From Danielle. I don't think it's both Danielle and Za'Darius Smith here, but could be wrong on that.
And where does the money come from then?
Yeah.
So Danielle, at the very least, the roster bonus would have to be converted to a signing bonus, which would all be paid at once, but would allow them to push some of the cap room into the coming seasons. Because right now, they could not sign Za'Darius Smith unless they created more cap room. I don't think.
Right.
Unless I'm missing something with how they would structure a potential Za'Darius Smith contract.
Yeah, so stay tuned on our Score North already here on this YouTube channel and also our socials.
Busy. So much going on today.
What's going on, if that indeed breaks by the time you're hearing this and consuming this. Let's get to one more comment here. This is from Delton. It's a Judd comment because we always like to bring a Judd comment.
Oh, you like to end with a Judd comment. I always enjoy this. Thank you.
This is from Delton. He said, Judd is the Kirk Cousins of sports reporting. He makes enough to live in a big home in Minnetonka, but does not make enough to spend up to his internet so he can do his job better.
Well, first of all, that's not true.
The location is wrong.
The location's wrong. The size of the house, 100% wrong. I hate to say this, but I'm more of a bridge guy.
Oh, you're a Mariota?
Let's be honest. I'm more
You're
of
a Bridgewater?
I'm more of a bridge guy.
You're a Teddy guy?
Like I live in a bridge house.
Case Keenum?
I like my office, but it's a bridge. And by the way, Xfinity coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
To get this fixed, okay?
So everybody,
because I agree with you. Xfinity will be at my house tomorrow to hopefully rectify the problem that, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 times that we did the live stream or the stream from my house actually worked. But yes, I am as annoyed as you are by the internet problems.
So yes, you're the Kirk Cousins of sports.
I don't think I'm Kirk Cousins. No,
and Judd doesn't make, full disclosure, Judd doesn't make that much money.
I know I'm not that well paid. I'm not oblivious, which Kirk is. I feel like I'm a bridge guy. This is probably a comparison that's going to denigrate myself a bit, Dex.
Oh boy. Oh, here we go.
I feel like I'm sort of a Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like I'm fun. I got hot takes.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
But I'm pretty normal. Yeah, I think I'm a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick probably does not live in a big house.
No.
Bigger than Judd Zolgad? Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so Za'Darius Smith, per Tom Pelissero, will at least be at TCO to talk to the Vikings, so stay tuned, because to your point, that provides a layer of intrigue that did not exist previously. We are done here. Yep. Comments folks can submit to you. Is that correct?
Yep.
Or to Phil?
Just drop them right here on this YouTube channel, and we'll answer them. We do this twice a week now during the offseason. Mondays, we do them on Saturdays. So
love it.
Hit the subscribe button. We're on Apple, Spotify, Score North, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Goodbye.